This conference will now
Okay.
be recorded.
So, if you see, this is the first thing I would want everyone to focus on. Okay. I feel this is the most important slide across the course content. Okay. So wherever you have your doubts, please stop me, ask your doubts. Okay. If you are not asking your doubt because someone would think of something, okay, and you're making fool of yourself. Okay. So stop me or text. You have a chat window, you can please text there. Okay, if you're not able to ask a question, frame your question, please. Okay, but I would recommend you to interact. So let's make the sessions very interactive. Okay, so let's me go into a few of the slides, then we'll go into complete practical. Before going into practical, so we would want to know. Okay, so as the economist says, the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil but data. So nowadays, if you see, wherever we go, whatever activity you do, you're trying to generate some data, right? It can be simple ATM withdrawal to a transaction, to a going to a retail store or logging into a Facebook or traveling, booking tickets, or you're traveling, you don't do anything, but you're traveling from one place to other place. Okay, where your mobile is traveling means you're creating a generating data. So whatever activities you're doing on a day to day, because we are in a digital world, you are creating lots and lots of data for the companies. Okay, so more than oil, data is the important it became. There's a lot of data privacy issues. Okay, companies are fighting for to gather the data. Okay, so what is that they're doing with this lot of data? They do a data crunching, analyze the data, understand this data, talk to the data, right? So there's multiple phases to do this. Starting is visualizations. Okay, so using this data, so that's where your skill also comes into picture. Okay, for this, like if you have to rate the top skills in the market, analytical reasoning, okay, artificial intelligence or cloud computing, okay, all belongs to data only. Okay, the skill companies needs most in 2019 are analytical reasoning. Analytical reasoning comes into your where you are working with lots and lots of data to analyze the data. And why Tableau? Tableau is the third fastest growing technical tools, okay, or a technical skill in the market people are companies are looking for. Okay, if you have a Tableau as your core skill, okay, you will land up a good job. Okay, maybe right now the market is dull because of COVID-19. Okay, as soon as market starts opening up, okay, a lot of opportunities will keep on coming up because we have data. Okay, so if you're following the trend using the COVID-19 data only, lots and lots of dashboards are there within Tableau itself. I'll take you through those few things during the sessions. Okay, now because we have data, it's not mean that I would go and use all the data, right? So now we need to understand what is business intelligence. So yeah, if you are working, if you are already into business intelligence, if you are into SQL Server, right, and if you are into market research, right, and pharmaceuticals, so lots and lots of are varied people are there here. So everywhere you are generating a data. So business intelligence is all about, okay, what is that I can do with this data? Right. Companies has acquired lots and lots of data. Okay. Can I use all the data? Is all the data important for me? No, right? I would need a clean and a processed data, a process and aggregated data, a clean data where I can visualize it. Okay, put in a nice pictorial presentation. It can be simple graphs. Okay, we would want to put it in a pictorial representation. That's where visualizations come into picture. Okay, that's where business intelligence process comes into picture. You have a data. Okay, so based on the data, I would want to take a decision. Okay, so companies, if they have to take a decision for a betterment of a company, the decision has to be backed by some sort of data. Let's suppose tomorrow I'll go and say that, okay, I will increase my price of a product by 100 rupees. Okay, or I'll reduce my price by 10 rupees, whatever it is, right? Increase or decrease. Or I'll say that I'll open a new store in some other area or some other city. Okay, or I'll launch a new product for any sort of things. Okay, any decision you would want to make. Okay, if a decision is backed by some data, okay, that would be a better decision. So when can I take a decision? When I have a right information in my hand at the right time and the right format. Okay, for taking of any decision, it can be simple operational decision. Let's suppose I would want to improve my efficiency of my employees, or I would want to reduce the costing, reduce the production cost, right, or reduce the employee cost. Okay, or I would want to venture into new market, or I would want to launch a new product. Anything is for betterment of my company. For all of these things, I would need a data set, and data set which is in a right format with the right information. Okay, I have data in my database. If it is not, it's something like business intelligence is all about. You bought a book from a market and stored into your library or in your almirah. Okay, would you gain a knowledge? No, right? Unless and until I don't bring that book out, okay, and read it, you don't gain a knowledge. The same thing, companies keep on collecting data, okay, and store in gigabytes of data in databases, into some cloud databases, in-house databases, some Excel format. But if I'm not going to use the data, I'm not going to extract the data and analyze the data, process the data and analyze the data, what is the decision I can make with that data? I'm just investing it. I'm just investing the cost to store the data, because a lot of servers we need to save the data. It's meaningless just to store data or just to buy a book and put in an almirah. That's what we're doing in colleges, right? We don't read a lot of books. Okay, so we would always need to bring our data out, read it, put it in a proper structured format. That's where your tools comes into picture. So business intelligence is not about only representing data. It's an end-to-end process. Okay, where you gather the data, collect the data from multiple sources. Okay, companies are in a process of collecting data from multiple sources. Whatever activity you do, it can be simple travel, as I said, okay, or ATM transactions, banking transactions, your logins, movie watchings. Okay, you'll log into a Prime, you watch a movie. Okay, you log into Facebook, you like, you comment. Everything is the data for the companies. So companies collect the data from multiple sources, right? They do a data processing, aggregate the data, and put into something called data marts in your databases, basically the SQL, Oracle, your cloud databases, AWS, right? People put the data in multiple places according to the company's requirement. Now we need to extract the data, visualize the data, means put in a proper framework, put in a proper analysis. So I would want to now extract the data and create a nice visual representation, because our human mind can read a data in a much better format, or can understand the data much better where it is presented in a visual representation rather than a simple tables. Okay, once we do it, now after you build a report, okay, or a dashboard with nice visualizations, it is moved to the next level to analyze it. Maybe on top of it, you may bring in some statistical analysis, or you may build a model out of it, okay, and take it to the next level where you can take a decision. Okay, if you are a data scientist also, okay, or you are learning, someone has said that they are learning data science, someone from the statistics background, to do anything of the sort, we would need to first understand the data first. Okay, understand the pattern of my data to build any model in a data science. Okay, so data science, building a model is just 10 to 30% of work, whereas 70% of work is to visualize the data, clean the data, process the data, visualize it, understand the data first. So 70% of work is to understand the data. That we can do a very good visual, can be done through a visualization. Then only you build any models, any statistical models, okay, or any
This
data
conference will
visualization.
now be recorded.
Okay, what is a data visualization? What do you think is a data visualization? Okay, a data visualization is about telling to the audience, who is, first of all, when you prepare a visualization, you need to keep in mind who is your audience and what is the purpose of analyzing the data. Okay, a small definition here: for the largest number of people, provide the greatest degree of understanding with the least amount of effort. Means whenever you're trying to visualize something, okay, it should be such a simpler language or some in a simpler form. It can be any visualization in a simpler form so that anyone can understand. Okay, a layman who comes and sees a screen of a few visualizations, you should be immediately able to understand it. That's the level of visualizations we need to build, where okay, anyone and everyone can understand. Okay, to do that, we need to follow something, something called a cognitive system. A cognitive system is there within our brains. Okay, our brain is a cognitive system. Okay, which it can feel, okay, smell, lot of things are there, right, within our brain. We can touch, feel, taste. Okay, your visual representation is also there within that. Okay, so how is your brain taking? Okay, which visualizations your brain can read it? Let's suppose if someone can read this, okay, and or if someone sees this, okay, do you think we are, as a brain, we don't read a complete statement? See, not a single word is properly framed, right? So we in our childhood we had a lot of spelling checks, dictionaries, dictations, right? But that's never a matter. If you see, according to research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter is what I can read it very quickly. The reason behind is our brain is now only reading the first and last word. Okay, not a complete word. We don't read a complete word. Okay, that is our cognitive brain. So I'll just show you a small image. Just find out. Okay, is not put your hands because it was a this was this slide for a corporate training. Just find out the toothbrush. Okay, let me know how many toothbrush you find. Okay, which one you find? Just let me know. Okay, just after seeing the image, you can tell me. What do you see here? Do you find toothbrush?
Yes.
Okay, how many?
Yes.
I can find two. No,
You can
two.
find two,
No, three. No, two. Two.
three.
Sorry, two.
Okay, okay,
Two.
two. Okay, how many have seen two toothbrushes? Others, have you seen two? One. So which one? Which is which? How many are there? So this is one toothbrush. Okay, and we have one more here. So which one you could immediately look into it? This or this? The smaller one, right? Most would have seen the smaller one. I feel so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Most of you would have seen the smaller one. Okay, that's what your visual representation is. Okay, how do you present your data? Okay, which is the one you would want to highlight it? Okay, the size matters again. Okay, I'll show you one more slide. Let's. Okay, I'll show you one more slide. Okay, so there will be a video here. Just let me know what is the difference between two visualizations here. What do you see the difference between both of them? Okay, there are two visuals which are playing. Okay, but what do you see the difference in both of them? Anyone? Quick. What differences would you have found? I'll play again. Could anyone found any difference here between the two images?
There is one with the engine valve of the airplane, and there is one places there.
Without engine, right? Without an engine. So this is without an engine. So flight has to be there, an engine flight to fly, right? See, if I play once again, we'll see. Now everyone will observe it, right? There is an engine here, and there is no engine in one of the picture, right? So what is this happening here is this is again a cognitive engine which is erasing our brain, okay, erasing our memory, what we send, because of the gray slide which is coming in between is erasing our brain, right? Immediately it is erasing the, so we are not able to recall it, okay, what is there in earlier and what is there here, okay, that's a difference. So this is again something called a cognitive engine, okay, or cognitive brains. Ascombs has created a data set. So now let's understand. Okay, he has created he has is emphasizing importance of graphing out the data, or number calculation can bring exactness to the analysis, while graph would show a great deal more. Okay, he has created a couple of data sets. Okay, a group A, group B, group C, and group D. Okay, he has created some data set. Okay, when we just see this data set, can we analyze something? No, right? Okay, we don't do anything. Okay, someone here is from a statistical background. I think Divya is from a statistical background. Okay, let's say I put this data into some statistical analysis, some summary analysis of my statistics. Okay, where I get my mean of X, mean of Y, correlation, sample variance, linear regression for all the data sets. Okay, for group A, group B, group C, and group D, I get the same summary statistics. Okay, the mean is same, and mean of Y is same, correlation is same, variance is same, okay, and regression line is also same for both all the data, all 4 data sets. But if all 4 data sets are visualized in a graph, all gives a different picture altogether. Now, which is more powerful, do you think? Is statistics is powerful or visualization is powerful? Right, visualization brings a greater picture, okay, a detailed picture. Now I can understand. Okay, so one of the visualization is giving a scattered, one is giving a curve, one is giving a line, one is giving a vertical line, one is giving a slope. Right, the same data sets, but when you put it into a graph, okay, or into a scatter plot, okay, it gives a lot different. Okay, that's the reason visualization is so important nowadays in the market. Okay, and there's one more data set again from George. Okay, so a same data set which has mean, median, standard deviation, correlations, it can form so many different types of visualization. When I run a regression, okay, it can form so many visualizations, so many different types of visualizations can be formed within one simple data set. Okay, so that's what is your power of visualization. Let's suppose again, if I have to present my data in form of a simple table, so which is the biggest value? What are the trends? Can I give any trend? Okay, data is properly structured, right? Category wise, quarter wise, and year wise, data is properly structured, okay, neat and clean. But I cannot bring any information about this, right? I don't know which quarter I'm doing better or which category I'm doing better. But if the same data I would have to represent in some line chart, okay, I can see a great deal here, a better picture here, right? So technology has gone down. Okay, furniture also is going down. Maybe office supplies is consistent. Okay, from 2013 to 2017, I can see a better picture here when I represented on a trend. Okay, that's again the power of numbers. So what is a data visualization? Is nothing but a representation and a presentation of data that exploits our visual perceptions about in order to amplify your cognition. Where basically, see, our brain can also read these numbers, but it is not boosting anything to our cognitive brain. Okay, whereas visualization will amplify the cognition. Okay, like if you want to increase the volume, like loudspeakers, we are right in marriages and they pick a loudspeakers. How is it the voice of the speakers increase? Basically, they put an amplifiers, right? right? Amplifier helps to increase the volume of a loudspeaker. The same thing, okay? Our visualizations will increase the understanding of our data by amplifying the cognition brains. Okay, so that's the power of visualizations. Okay, again, if I had to say, if you would have seen these numbers, right? If I had to say how many 9s are there, okay, it very difficult to count. Maybe if I put something like this, it's quicker to count. Maybe means I'm actually giving some color to my highlight. Where I would want to highlight it, I'm just giving a color. Maybe if I further structure it into some bar charts, okay, I quickly say that, okay, I have 9 13s, okay, or 13 9s, or 14 1s, 21 6s, right? So again, so color, length, okay, so this all also helps to boost your cognitive brains. Okay, so that these are called pre-attentive attributes. Okay, so in your visualizations, we use all of these pre-attentive features. It can be length of your bars, it can be width, it can be size, shape, curvatures, okay, and some colors, some orientations. Okay, so these all lot of pre-attentive features. These all called pre-attentive features, which we'll be using in Tableau, okay, to bring out something from the data set. Okay, bring out a value from the data set. So which pre-attentive attributes are best? Out of these pre-attentive features, which one would be best? Which would a brain would grasp or brain can understand quicker within 3 seconds? As soon as I say, okay, I should understand within 3 seconds. Okay, let's say two visualizations here. One is a bar chart, one is a circle charts. Okay, so if I had to say what are the values for D, what value you would guess here, and what value you would guess for this? Anyone? What value do you guess for D? Any number. You can guess any number here.
Maybe if 60.
Okay, good. Next, for H,
Maybe 50.
50. Okay. So more or less 60 and 50. Okay. Let's see what is my exact value and how many. Let's suppose this there was a survey which has been taken. Okay. For around 1400 respondents. Okay, where they said the bar they guessed correctly that my bar value is actually 45. Most of my respondent, around 500 respondents, has guessed correctly. Okay, whereas my circle is actually value is 35, whereas okay, only few people have guessed correctly. Okay, so that's feature are. So our human brain can quickly understand the bar graphs rather than like some things like circles. Okay, so these are few things which we would need to keep in mind when we start working on your reports, start analyzing our data sets. Okay, so it can be used in multiple forms, bar charts with some circles, but you need to always analyze this data sets. Let's suppose if a data set is given to you like this, okay, years, Domino's and Pizza Huts. Okay, so how would you visualize this? Okay, what sort of visualization would you prepare? Okay, again, there's a multiple ways of data, multiple ways you can visualize this data, right? A simple bar charts, side by side bar charts, comparing to visualize the sales for market share for two fast foods. This one, Pizza Huts and Domino's. The simple bar charts. Okay, maybe I can use a better picture. This gives me a better picture. So which was given, whether this or a this. Okay, or a simple, this is called a bar in bar charts. This again gives a different picture. Okay, maybe a line chart. Okay, so what is actually is representing here? So if you see, I'm not giving a great picture here, right? When I put now, where if it's the same thing has been represented in a line chart, I can see that My market share, see, Pizza Hut has in 2007 Pizza Hut has a 44% market share, and Domino's has 27% market share. By the year 2016, it closed down to 31 and 30. Now they become very close competitors, so they're just competing closely. So Pizza Hut got increased, but if you see, Domino's has only increased 27 to 30. Means where are the other? Who has captured the other market share? So there's a third player who has entered into market. Okay, there are some other players, some unorganized players also has come into pictures where they have picked up 10% market share. So that 10% has gone to your Pizza Hut. Okay, it has gone from the Pizza Hut actually. So Domino's has improved only just 3% of market share. Right, almost 10% of market share has been lost by Pizza Hut, but Domino's has increased only 3% of market share. So who has captured other market share? The other players who has captured the other market share. Okay, so that's the picture what we would want to show. Okay, so the most important pre-activity features are, okay, is the position where you place it, the color, the size, and the shape of it. Okay, more important to less important. So why I'm spending a lot of time here is this is the foundation of your visualizations. Okay, these are the things you need to keep in mind. This is the foundation for your visualizations. Okay, when you start going building visual, no one will tell you about this. Okay, when you go into an audition, okay, someone you say how to write a formula. Okay, if you search in Google, you'll get a formula. Okay, but nowhere you get this. Okay, so these are the very important factors here. So the most important things are positions, color, size, and shape. So how do you position it yourself? What sort of coloring you would use? Okay, how do you size your visualizations? Okay, and the shape of it. So these are the things you need to keep in mind when you're preparing your visualizations. Okay, and once you get your requirement, okay, you need to ask these questions. Okay, questions. So I'm talking about now how to build a report. Right, you get a requirement that you would want to build a report. Right, what is the process to build a report? Okay, so first you got a requirement. Okay, that you should need to ask couple of questions, what and why questions of your data. Okay, and data visualization versus visual analytics, we need to understand these two important concepts. Let's understand first what and why questions of your data. Okay, anytime you get a requirement, you need to ask the why question. Let's suppose you a simple example here, what and why question of your data. You started to an office. Okay, you went into your car and you tried to start your car didn't start. What has happened? The car didn't start. Okay, then you try to think yourself, right? Why? The battery is dead. Why the battery is dead? Because the alternator does not work. Why the alternator does not work? Because the alternator belt has broken. Why the belt has broken? Because it is out of its service life, useful life service or service life. Means you are overused it. Why it is overused? Because you are not put the car into proper maintenance. The vehicle has not been maintained. So these are the why questions. Okay, so any requirement you get, okay, the client may not be having a clear picture what he needs it. Okay, you should ask him this, at least these why questions. What is it he would want, and why is it he would want? Okay, just don't stop with only one why. At least 5 times you should ask why. There's a standard thing which I think it has been said in global actually when you talk about visualizations. Nothing from my side. Okay, at least 5 times you why is asking me to do this. Okay, why is this visualization is coming, okay, in this way. So that's where your next thing comes up, data visualizations and visual analytics. Can someone tell me what is the difference between data visualization and visual analytics? What do you think the differences would be? There are two popular approaches of understanding your data. Okay, Data visualization is just a part of what? Means it's more like reading like a newspaper. Means what has happened, I'll report that. That's it. Means whatever has happened today, I'll just create some visualization and give it. That's it. That is what part. I'm not digging in deeper into it. Okay. So what will data visualization will basically keep me understand, makes data easier to understand, good for answering a fixed number of questions. That's it. Okay. How much is my total sales per category by product or something? Okay. Your visual analytics is all about why thing. Why something has happened. Let's suppose your sales has gone down. Why? Maybe your product price is higher from your competitors, or there is a lot of, or your withdrawn advertisement from the market. Right? You need to start relating to it. Okay. Or let's say, okay, sales has gone down. Why? Maybe salespersons are not doing good. Why they are not doing good? Maybe you're not trained them properly. Why you're not trained them properly? You have brought a freshers. Why you brought a fresher? Okay, something like this. Okay. This will give me a lot of advanced analytics into picture. Okay. It will lead to something unexpected insights. Leads to unexpected insights and identify root causes. So this is what we need. Not this part. We need this, but without this we cannot do this. We need this, but we should never stop. Okay, we should never stop at just answering or just giving them what is there in that. Okay, it's just about like reading a newspaper. He is not talking about okay why it has happened. He just, or a newspaper or a news analyst, what they say, okay, what has happened, they will simply report it. Right, we would need to dig into deeper. Okay, so this is again a simple data set here. So one of the Tableau consultant, he was traveling in London. Okay, so what he has done is he actually captured all of his data. Okay, how many times he's traveling in the local tubes. Okay, to his office. So what he has done is he asked himself these questions: what stations I do frequently use, what tube line do I regularly use, what time of day I regularly travel, what is the cost of each journey. Okay, so when he have put into a Tableau, okay, when he has put this into a Tableau, so let me open this dashboard. Okay, so he has presented how many number of trips he has made, okay, and how much time he's traveled on a day-to-day basis, and what is the total cost he has, total amount he has spent, okay, and these are different lines, okay, on which day of the month he travels more, what time in a day is traveled more, okay, all of these things he has tried to analyze. Okay, this is just reported, okay, but there's one point here which he has analyzed. What is this? Not opening. 1 minute. Let's open this. Okay, this is a dashboard. Let's try to analyze. So these are the different lines in London. Okay, so dealer line and you have northern line. Okay, these are the different lines which are used. Okay, but he has observed based on the weekly cost, he has observed there are some spikes here. Okay, where he has set a normal cap or a daily cap of 6.8 pounds. Okay, on a daily cap, but in few days, okay, so my daily cap has there has been a charges where he has been charged around 14 pounds, right? 17 pounds or 14 pounds here. So there are few days in a week where there's been charged more. Okay, normally from a normal cap or a normal average rate. More than an average rate, there are few of the scenarios where there was spent or charged more than the average rate. What could be the issue here? We need to dig into deeper in these scenarios. Okay, this is where the why comes into picture. This is your exact data, what you're presenting it, your work is done. No, you should never think that. Okay, you should dig into deeper. Okay, is it a particular stage here? Okay, or is it a particular hour? Okay, or is it in certain peak timings? Okay, in what scenarios? Okay, why is it in all the stations or only particular stations? Okay, so you can keep on doing your analysis there. That's where you'll get exact picture. Why is this happening in my organization? Okay, that's where the utilization is impactful, right? If I can know the root cause, why there was an overcharge. Okay, so you represented that, okay, I was charged over, okay, my travel charge is overcharged by 17 pounds. What's the point in just saying that, okay, I am overcharged? Okay, I should know why I'm overcharged. That's what your root cause. You need to understand the root cause of it. Okay, for that you need to keep on doing drilling on. Okay, so visualize your data. Data visualization is only the first step in exploring your data. Okay, but your why, visual analytics, is the next step, where you're focusing on exploring your data through deeper analysis, asking the business questions that you need to ask. Okay, discover some unexpected insights and share the insights and collaborate with colleagues on the other data. So these are the things you need to follow in your day-to-day activities. Okay, you should go back to business, ask these questions, ask these why questions. Okay, ask yourself within the data. Okay, that's when you will be a great visualizer of the data, or great analytics, or great analyst. Okay, now let's go ahead and load some data. We'll discuss these things later. Before that, let's understand few Tableau products. Okay, so Tableau has multiple products. We have Tableau Desktop, which comes with a 14-day trial period. Okay, whatever a developer does, he has to develop on a desktop. 90% of your work would be on a desktop. Once you build your report on a desktop, you publish to Tableau server. Okay, we have two types of servers here. One is an in-house server, one is an online server, which is nothing but a cloud server. Okay, depends upon the company to company. Someone would go for an in-house server. It's completely within your organization. You have to maintain it and support everything has to do done in-house. An online server, which Tableau would be having a control of it. Okay, you pay as per your use. Okay, that's a SaaS model. That's a cloud-based model. Then there's something called Tableau Public. It's a free of cost. All the media houses use this. You can also download Tableau Public to a local desktop, but you cannot save anything to a local desktop. Everything has to be saved onto a public domain, where each and everyone can access, like the report how we are accessing. This is a public account. Now I am accessing it. Right. So anything you can access it, create it here. But for everyone, I would recommend creating a public account. In Tableau, this is one of the any data set. Create a nice project, nice report, or a nice dashboard. Okay, that's what you can showcase your work. In your resume, you can give this link. Okay, the recruitment, now the trend is for a Tableau, at least for a Tableau recruitment, people go and see if they will ask you straightforward. Okay, can you show any of your work? Maybe not internal work. If you have, okay, we cannot say that, okay, internal projects cannot display on a Tableau Public because the data would be confidential. But you can say that, okay, this is my publicly available data where I build the dashboards. Okay, you can showcase this work. You can give a link on your resume so that people will go ahead and look into your work. Bringing of faith on whatever you're saying that you can work on is showing your work. So what's more advantage than that? Rather than talking, your work will talk. Okay, so try to think from the day one onwards, creating a public profile, what sort of project I would want to build. Okay, I can give lots and lots of data. Okay, I can also tell you from lots and lots data and design a nice dashboard. Okay, that's what Tableau public importance is. Okay, now let's go into Tableau. Okay, other things I'll come into feature because it becomes a lot of theoretical side. Okay, so this is a home page. So once you download, you'll get a shortcut icon. This is a home page. The latest version is Tableau 20.1.2 is the latest version. Now let's load some data and try to see how Tableau is, how easy is it to use. Okay, so we have different data connectors here. On your left hand side, you see different data connectors. We can load, these are file based connectors, Excel files, text files, JSON files, Access files, PDF file also can be loaded, and some spatial file of data where some like we would want to represent some like parks, houses, schools. Okay, all those can be used within spatial files, some statistical files, and you can connect to multiple data servers. Okay, Tableau, Oracle, SQL Server, Web Data Connector, Google Analytics, and lot of other connectors are there here. Okay, these are the different connectors which you can connect and extract the data. Okay, for now we'll just load an Excel file. Now course duration will load different other data sets. Let's load. Any questions? Anyone would want to ask any questions? Someone else? Any questions? No
Yes,
questions?
Ravi, this is Pawan.
Yeah, Pawan.
Is there any prerequisites to learn this Tableau?
There are no prerequisites to learn Tableau. Okay, a basic of SQL select statement is more than enough to learn Tableau.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and we don't need, there are no prerequisites. SQL also we don't use it here. In fact, there are, if you ask me, there are no prerequisites to learn Tableau. You will see just right away. Okay, to create a nice dashboard, it will hardly take 10 minutes for us. Okay, so we have loaded a sample superstore data set where this is my retail store data set. Okay, so we are connected, and within that Excel file, I have multiple sheets, orders, peoples, and returns. These are the, like in a Excel sheet, we have multiple worksheets, right? Like sheet one, sheet same thing. These are the multiple sheets we have. Let's drag one and drop into your data canvas. This is called your connection area. Okay, and your data preview area at the bottom, you will get a data preview. So Tableau will just load 1000 records. Okay, first 1000 records. Okay, and decide the data types of your columns. Okay, so most of the time Tableau would be able to recognize the data types, okay, for each of the column based on, this is my number column, so it is given hash. This is my text column, it is giving my ABC. So my date column, it is given some date, a calendar symbol, and you see some these are my geographical columns, country, city, state. A geographical roles has been assigned, so a globe symbol is given. Okay, if you want to change your data types, you can go ahead and change your data types, whatever data types you would want. These are the set of columns what we are loaded. Okay, then there are two types of connections here, live connection and extract connection. Okay, live is I'm on a real-time basis connected live to a database. Okay, extract is in-house in-memory tool. Extract is I'm extracting my data to in-memory. Okay, when I would want to work offline, I would go for using an extract connection. Extract is just a snapshot of your data, of your data till current date. It is not alive. Okay, if I would want a real data, let's suppose today I take an extract, which means till today my data is there in my Tableau report. Okay, if I come tomorrow, also I'll have today's data only in the extract. But if I need tomorrow's data, if I come tomorrow, I need to refresh it. We need to schedule the refreshes. But live is not like that. Okay, if we have connected today, I have till today's data. If I connect tomorrow, I'll have tomorrow's data set. We don't need to refresh this. We'll always have a live data set. Okay, we'll go in deeper about live and extract. There are a lot of features here. Okay, and more important concepts. This is your worksheet. Okay, this is called your worksheet. Okay, and this is your view area. Now Tableau has decided our columns or divided our columns. So we have list of columns, but Tableau has divided our list of columns into dimensions and measures. How this has divided into dimension measures? So here you need to understand two concepts of different data types. Hope everyone knows what is the data and what are the data types we have. We have categorical data and numerical data. What is categorical? All your string data. It can be country name, customer name, okay, city, state, product names. Any string data is called categorical data. In numbers is called numerical data. Categorical data can be divided into again nominal and ordinal data. Nominal is again which does not has any order to it. Ordinal has something like an order. Nominal is something like a gender, female, male, country names, state names, city names. Okay, there is no order to this, right? Whereas ordinal has some order to it. Okay, you like levels of education, elementary school, high school, undergraduate, graduate. Your course ratings, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. There is an order to it. Salary bands. There's an order: associate, business analyst band, junior business, lead business, senior business analyst. Right, there's an order to it. That's called your ordinal data. Okay, and numerical data is again discrete and continuous. Discrete is like a whole number. Okay, when I say number of people, I cannot say 2.5 people, right? I have to say 2 people or 3 people. There's no decimals in this. A number of goals, I cannot say how many goals he has scored. He has scored 3 goals or 5 goals or 10 goals. I cannot say 2.5 goals or 3.5 goals. These are my discrete numbers or whole numbers. Okay, your continuous is something like height. Your sales can be somewhere from 0 to infinity, right? It can be 10.5, 1000.5, 10 million.5, whatever it is, right? Any number it can be. Temperature also it can be any number. Your height also can be 160 cm, 165 cm, 162 cm, 162.1 cm, right? That's what continuous data is. Okay, so based on a discrete and a continuous or a categorical and a numerical, Tableau decides my dimensions and measures. Your dimensions are all your categorical data and your discrete data, and your measures are all only continuous fields. Your measure columns are only continuous. See, discount is continuous, profit is continuous, quantity is continuous, sales is continuous. But rest all are my dimensions or just a categorical data set. Okay, your categorical are in blue color in the background, so these are called blue pills. These are in green pills. The continuous are always in green pills. Okay, let's say I would want to create a visualizations. I bring my sales. Okay, so when I double click it, okay, immediately it should come down to your visualizations. Create a single bar. Okay, 2 times I did, I guess. Okay, so whether you put into columns, it'll create a vertical line. If I put on rows, it'll create a horizontal bar. Vertical bar or horizontal, rows or columns. A measure can go into rows or columns, or a dimension can also go into rows or columns. So category wise, my sales. Here I'm trying to compare. Okay, here I'm trying to compare my sales within 2 categories. So simple, right? But what Tableau is trying to do here? Okay, what Tableau tries to does is how this visualization is getting created. You need to understand the background of it. Okay, creating a visualization, building a dashboard is simpler again. But background, if you have to build a, so building a dashboard is just 50% of your work. Building a optimized or optimized dashboard, a dashboard which runs much faster, where I can interact with dashboard within 3 seconds of time, okay, is what your objective is. You need to keep in mind. Okay, so that if you have to do that, you need to keep in mind what is happening at the back end also. So how this visualization is getting created? This visualization is getting created based on something called visual query language. Okay, visual QL. Tableau is trying to create something called visual QL, a language for a query analysis and visualizations. Okay, what is Tableau trying to do here is, whatever we're trying to create a visualizations, okay, we are requested for a visualization, bringing category as a dimension and sales as a measure. We immediately got a visual. We requested for a visualization on the browser. Okay, Tableau has loaded the visualizations. So what this Tableau does is Tableau sends a query. Tableau simply sends a select query. Okay, so Tableau simply sends a select query to your SQL. So the query analyze compiles visual expression into a SQL and MDX, and that visual can be used with a relational database and a data cubes. It simply sends a select query to the backend. Okay, that query is run at a server level. In the database, the query is run. The select query would run in the server. It returns the result set. Okay, based on the result set, this visual query would now prepare your visualization and render your visualization. So these are the steps which runs at the backend for everything, whatever you try to do. Now let's say I would want to create a map. Okay, I would want to show broad states. Okay, so broad state. These are the different states of US, and let me also bring a city onto my visualization. So now I'll be showing. I'll be digging much deeper into it. Means each state should have multiple cities. Right. So each dot is a city. Now I can visualize this sales. I can put onto my size shelves. These are called mark shelves. Okay. My size of my bubble is based on my sales. I can color them. I can color them by profit. I can put my profit onto color. See? So, and I can, let me just change the color formatting a bit. Right. So where I'm making more profit, wherever my color is darker, and right. See here, my sales is also higher and my profit is also higher. My size of my circle is telling me how much sales I made, and color of my bubble is saying how much profit I'm making. See here we are making good amount of sales, but it's a negative profit. These red ones are your negative profits. Okay, these are my positive profits. Okay, like this a visualization can be created. So nowhere we'll be writing anything here. Okay, there's only one place where we would need to write few calculations called calculated field. Okay, few additional calculated fields we can create. It can be a measure or it can be a dimension. Okay, using these are the functions we have to learn. We'll be learning a lot of functions here. Okay, so using these functions, this is the only place what we'll write. Only using those functions we'll write some calculated fields. Nowhere else we would need any scripting or a coding. So the tool is so easy to use it. Okay, and combining these sheets, we would now can go ahead and create a dashboard. Again, dashboard is nothing but a combination of multiple sheets. Maybe let me get one more. I'm just picking randomly. I'm not doing any changes. All right, there's my category wise sales and my segment wise sales. Yeah. Someone want to ask some question?
Sir, also taking subcategory sales also should taken.
I didn't get you.
Subcategory sales. Subcategory.
So subcategory is also same thing. Okay, you just have to drag and drop. You drop. Yes, you can also bring subcategory category, and I would want subcategory level. Okay, then I can bring my sales. So category wise and subcategory wise grouped it. Okay, and we can create a hierarchy of your columns. just create an hierarchy of your columns. Within category, I have subcategories. Under subcategories, I can bring my products. Okay, I can expand much further. Okay, and maybe I can flip my visualization, and I can sort my visualization. Okay, I can adjust complete entire view. A lot of things you can go ahead and play around with it. No restriction here. That's what. Okay, looks simple again, but there's a lot in deep. Okay, any questions? And now let me take you through the course content. Hope everyone has got some course content, or if you have not got, let me take you through the course content. So we'll be taking from very basic level. Okay, and for each of the course content, we'll be having a case study to be worked on. So for each and every concept, when we learn, we'll bring a case study. Okay, and whenever we complete a topic, we'll mark it as completed or done, or so that I don't miss out of it. Okay, we'll understand different types of visualizations. For each and every concept, okay, we'll bring a case study, try to solve that case study. Okay, and while solving the case study, we'll try to learn the functionality part of it. It's just not learning functionality won't make you any importance. So each of the case study will be going end to end, starting from creating a sheets to multiple dashboards and storyboards. Okay, a Tableau report is consisting of sheet, dashboard, and a storyboard. Okay, so everything we would need to create for each case study, we'll be creating all of these things again and again. Okay, few cases will be missing, but most of the cases we'll be understanding a lot of data warehousing concepts also again, the join concepts. Okay, so this is all about your joins, join and blending. These are two important concepts here. Then we'll talk about table calculations. Then we'll talk about groups and clustering. Clustering is an advanced topic. More of k-means clustering is someone from a data science background, they can understand clustering. We use a k-means clustering. Some more about spatial files, as discussed, data preparation activities, some groups and sets. Okay, some advanced table calculations. So how to load a PDF files in the spatial files. Forecasting of your data sets. Okay, forecasting of your data, again, time series analysis, how to do a forecasting, and then creating some animation dashboards. Okay, and LOD calculation, level details. Okay, again, this is a very advanced topic. Then we'll be talking about server end. Okay, complete server end. Okay, once you build a report on your local desktop, how do you publish? How do you give security roles? How do you create groups, users? How do you give permission to the end user? And how the end user would be viewing the report? Till there, end to end, we'll be covering each and every topic here. Okay, and apart from that, we're also looking at a Tableau prep, which I didn't take through it. Okay, Tableau prep is a data preparation tool here. Okay, Tableau has one more tool called data prep, a Tableau prep. Okay, where I can, let's suppose your data is not neat and clean. So we have one more tool called Tableau prep. Okay, we'll be using prep also for a data transformations. This is more like an ETL tool, a drag and drop tool there also, but you can do a join, concatenations, union. Okay, basically for only for data preparation to get a final data set into my Tableau. Rather than doing a lot of transformations in Tableau, I can clean my data in Tableau prep and load my data into Tableau. That is what one more additional thing which we'll be learning. Okay, a Tableau prep is again a detail here. So this will take around 3 to 4 days of Tableau prep, where we'll be learning all the steps of within Tableau prep. Okay, and you'll also get a project to work on cleaning the data set. Basically, just a cleaning of data set. We don't do, there is no visualizations in Tableau prep. It's just about cleaning the data, transforming your data. Okay, and within Tableau, you have a lot of activities, case studies, and mock certification questionnaires. Okay, and time in time out you will have your evaluations. We'll be checking your how much you are grasping it. So there will be assessments through Google Forms. So you can uh, uh, take your assessment through Google Forms. Okay, so this is what we'll be covering. Each and every session will be recorded, and the recording will be shared to you. Yeah, so this is what we'll be covering. Any questions? Anything you would want to ask?
Sir, 3 sheets explaining dashboard second.
I didn't get you. So dashboard is a combination of multiple sheets.
Course duration.
Course duration is around 40 hours. So 40 hours is not limited. It's like if I complete 40 hours, I'll close the sessions. No, I have to complete all my content. Okay, and the number of days can increase based on the number of questions you ask. Okay, so whatever we do on timing I'll let you know. Okay, at what timings based on today's audience. If everyone can share your feedback and timings, your preferable timings, accordingly we can split into multiple batches. Not necessarily that everyone has to be accommodated in the same timings. Okay, do let me your feasible timings. What is your preferred time slots you would want? Just drop an email. Okay, and accordingly we'll get back to you. We'll put into slots.
Fee structure, sir.
Fees is 12,000.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is this for Tableau itself? I mean, the whatever you're mentioning, right? Like 12,000 and
Tableau and
40
Tableau
hours.
prep. Tableau and
Okay.
Tableau prep both.
Okay. So Power BI comes in the different batch.
Power BI comes into a different thing. So this is 12,000 or 40 hours would be for Tableau and Tableau prep. Two tools these are.
Okay. Okay. And after the course completion, will be given any data sets and any course content, like where it will be more useful, and any recording, something like that.
Each session would you get recording. Each session every day you will be sent. The recording would be sent back. So each session, like how we are recording now the session, each session would be recorded. You'll be sent a GoToMeeting link where the recording would be there. You need to download your recording to yourself. Okay, recording will be there for you forever. You can download to your local desktop. Okay, you'll get a lot of data sets, case studies to practice.
Okay, so we can download and we can do whatever the practice,
yes, you can
right?
revisit.
Tableau,
Yes.
desktop.
Yes.
Okay. It
And
will be run for how many days?
It will be run for 40 days. So daily, like 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes sessions. So around 40 days it will take.
Okay. Okay. The trial version, free version will be for how many days usually? For practice.
Trial version is just 14 days. Okay. After that, we will try to get a student version, a student license, which we'll get for 1 year license.
Okay.
Weekly, how many hours you will take?
Weekly it will be like Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. Saturday is optional actually. Okay, if everyone say that yeah we are available this Saturday, I'll go ahead and take the session. Okay, sometimes you may be available, I may be not available because I'm also a full-time employee. So accordingly, we'll adjust the sessions. Okay.
And this will not be covering the server administration, right? I mean, Tableau
We'll be covering the
administration.
admin part. We'll be covering the admin part. Means publishing the report to admin, giving a user access, giving the permission roles, security rules, and everything will be covering. Scheduling and everything will be covering on server side also. So there's a server concept also is there, right at the end. Server part is also there.
So
server
when people
security,
usually speak like server administration, will this suffice?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When you will be planning?
we would be not looking at server administration, in the sense server implementation, setup, on admin. Those act and all those things. Okay.
Okay.
Where
Usually in the
how to
market as a
give a,
developer, yeah.
yes, what a developer needs will be covering everything. Okay, admin, because an
Okay.
admin
Okay.
role is completely different. Okay,
Okay.
he has to work on Linux side also. Okay, backend also you need to work if
Mm-hmm.
server is down. Okay, if server is down,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and developer won't be taking care of it. An admin role will be taking care of.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Okay,
I got to
we
know
would
from one of my friend asking, like in the interviews, they are like questioning about the admin things also. So I just want to like have a curiosity to know, like, well, this will be suffice for the developer or not.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, that is sufficient. That is sufficient. Okay, whatever I cover
Okay.
is completely more than sufficient to a developer actually.
Okay. Okay.
When you are planning first batch?
As soon as you guys respond, we'll be starting the sessions. Immediately, I would want to send you two things. Okay, your preferred timings, and then when do you would want to start? We want to start immediately, or you would want to let us know how many you would want to wait. Okay, if everyone is responding today itself, I can start from tomorrow also.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ravi, Tableau Prep or SSS both are same.
Tableau Prep and
SSS ETL tool, SSIS.
yes, SSS ETL tools and Tableau Prep are somewhat same. Yes, somewhat same. Same. But Tableau Prep is much more easier than SSIS tool.
Okay.
But but SSIS tool, we load the data into different databases, correct?
Yeah.
But Tableau Prep, we cannot do that. We can only extract data into some files. That's it. We cannot load into some database. We can extract as a CSV file or a hyper file.
Okay. We cannot extract from SQL Server
No, we
or
cannot load into. No, we cannot load. We can extract from SQL Server and do a data preparation activity, join, and all the stuff. But I cannot load back into different server. I can only get an Excel file, a CSV file, or a hyper file.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone?
Is there any guidance provided, Ravi? I mean to say, like after the course, right? For any interview guidance or something like that, or just it's the course content will be delivered?
No, we can. I am available always. I'll be having my number. Okay, everyone can
Okay.
interact with me. You can WhatsApp me your doubts. Okay, after the sessions also, if you say no, sir, I would want one more session where I would want to discuss these interview questions. Yes, we can go ahead and discuss.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, see here, the session is more like a building a relationship, just not delivering the class and moving out. I don't want. Say I've been training from almost four years. Okay, and number of people from across the globe. People still do refer me for sessions to different students, and they still ping me some of the other day, like, hi sir, how are you? Okay, this is what I have doubt in my work in these days. Okay, so whenever possible, I just try to reply them. So that relationship I would want to build with everyone.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Any other questions? If not, we'll end the session. And I would want everyone to reply back to respective emails.
Where is that email ID provided, Ravi? Is that in the chat box over here, or where I can find?
How did you get into this login? You would have got an email, right?
Not email exactly. Someone has forwarded. One of my brother friend Kiran has sent us this information.
Okay. Okay. Let me put my email ID on the chat window. kishore.ravi1983@gmail.com. Okay. Is there in the chat window? Everyone can take a note of this, and I also write my number.
One way or another within our solution. And with that solution, we've got
821-768-6183. There's my number. You can WhatsApp me on this number. If any questions you would want other than this, you can call me or you can WhatsApp me.
also
Okay.
Sure, sure.
So you'll enjoy the sessions. Okay, guys, just don't think that okay, it'll be like one-way sessions. We'll enjoy the sessions. We'll have a lot of interesting case studies, data science case studies. Okay, simple reporting case studies. Okay, we'll enjoy the sessions, and there are a lot of opportunities coming in the market. Okay, and Tableau is one of the leading tool in the market. Okay, if everyone knows, have seen something like Gartner Magic Quadrant. Okay, which Gartner does. Gartner is a market research company where they do a market research every year for all the BI tools and other tools in the market. Okay, so Tableau is one of the leading tool in the market. Gartner Magic Quadrant BI tools 2020. So this Jan they brought every year Feb and Jan they release. So I think this is the latest one. If you see, Microsoft and Tableau are the leading tools. Okay, so don't hesitate. So there are a lot of openings comes into picture, and because companies cannot survive without crunching the data. Keep that in mind. And it's easy tool to learn. Just within 40 days, you can get expert. But you need to practice a lot. Whatever assignments I give, what are the activities I give, go ahead and practice it. Then only you'll get doubts, and you can come back and ask me. Okay. Yeah.
what we're doing now this year.
Chalo. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. Any questions? Anyone ask?
Focusing on the
Nothing.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Have a great time. Take care and be at home.
Thank you.
Be safe. Bye bye.
Thank you.
90% of remote applications, one for another.